Now, presented in digital widescreen. This is HOI-19 News at 5:30. Accurate, balanced, to the point.
No teachers, no first day of school at this point and beyond, where things stand on the teachers' strike in Galesburg. And a state office holder, a Democrat, expresses worry that Pat Quinn won't be governor much longer. But the big story right now, breaking news. A body is found in East Peoria in a wooded area near Fond du Lac Plaza. Investigators on the scene right now trying to put the pieces together. The body was found just after noon. Police have not identified the person and have not said if it was a man or a woman. The East Peoria police say it may take dental records to determine the ID, and that could take up to 3 weeks. We spoke with the woman who says she found the body while searching for a missing loved one, Jeff Kennedy.
My son and I had decided to go ahead and leave the search party and go looking, and when we did, we stumbled upon a decomposing body.
Now, they know Kennedy is not the person who was found today because they heard from him just 2 days ago. They continue to look for him, but the body found today is relatively decomposed. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. No other information will be released until the results come in. The other major headline tonight, Galesburg teachers on strike. Tomorrow is the first scheduled day of school in District 205. The classrooms, though, are going to be empty, and the teachers will be walking the picket lines. Negotiations with a federal mediator hit an impasse yesterday. A District 205 superintendent says right now no new contract talks are scheduled. He says students and parents have been notified that there will be no school on Thursday, tomorrow. Teachers picketed outside the district's administrative office this afternoon. Both sides held crisis meetings today. The superintendent says he was rounding up board members to try and figure out the next step.
We're hopeful that we can get this settled, but there's got to be some movement, and I don't know that we'll see it.
Superintendent says teachers want more than the 5.4% raise the district offered, but teachers say money is not the issue, safety is. HOI-19's Denise Jackson's been in Galesburg all day. She is here with us now with more. Denise.
Eric, Galesburg Education Association members say this contract is not solely about money, but fairness and work conditions. More than 600 teachers and other professionals marched outside of the district's schools throughout the day. They waved as several vehicles passed and honked in front of the high school. One teachers union spokesperson says they want assurances about tenure and safety inside deteriorating old buildings.
We don't want to be on a strike line. We really, in a picket line, we want to be in our classroom with our kids. There are tiles that are coming up off the floor. There's asbestos problems, and we would like that to be dealt with, or at least a timeline that we can see that that's going to be fixed.
I want to support all my fellow educators. Education is what it's all about for your community, and without a good foundation in education, our nation is not going to go anywhere.
Now, there are about 200 Galesburg special education teachers who work in Knox and Warren counties, but those schools are not scheduled to begin for a few days. If the strike continues, it is not clear who would cover for those special ed teachers. Again, there are no new talks scheduled, and the federal mediator has left town for the week. I'm Denise Jackson reporting. Eric, back to you.
All right, Denise, thanks. And tonight on HOI-19 News at 10, we're going to have more on the teacher strike in Galesburg, including reaction from parents. Well, here are 3 words that are ringing across college campuses here in the heart of Illinois. Move-in day. And many students at Bradley say they're more worried than ever about traffic. Move-in day in the land of the gargoyle is a week from Saturday, the 23rd. While many students are eager to return, some residents can already picture what the intersection at Maine and University is going to look like.
It's usually manageable, but with it being down to 1 lane and that intersection just being so congested, sure, the light up signs are nice, but it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's just tough. It's going to be kind of a nightmare this year, I think.
Several intersections, including Elmwood and Maine, St. James and University, and Bradley and Institute will be closed for move-in day on the 23rd. Coming up on HOI-19 News at 10, we're going to tell you what the school is doing to help manage traffic around campus. This is move-in day at Illinois State University, and normal thousands of students filling the residence halls. About 60% of students are set to move in today and tomorrow, and that includes more than 3,500 freshmen. ISU is being forced to use extra lounge space to accommodate the growing student body. A perfect day and hopefully evening for the Taste of Peoria. Chuck's here with the first look at the forecast. Chuck.
All right, Eric, nary a cloud in the sky, as my mom would say. We got a few clouds northeast and a few scattered showers around Chicago. That is just about it. 33rd Annual Taste of Peoria underway. 82 right now. We'll check out sunshine at 67 at 8 o'clock tonight, although the sun is now setting at 7:59. That's below 8 o'clock now. And we'll have clear skies for the wrap-up and 57 degrees. Another day tomorrow like today, but then back to heat and humidity and some storms. That forecast coming away in a couple of minutes.
All right, Chuck. The most recent polls in the race for governor show Republican Bruce Rauner with a lead of anywhere from 3 to 13 points over the incumbent Pat Quinn. Now, Democrats gathered in Springfield today for their annual county chairman's luncheon. Secretary of State Jesse White, who lost an election in 1976, says he's very concerned Quinn's going to lose.
I'm concerned about it. This is probably one of the most highly contested races I've ever experienced.
If the election were held today, do you think he could win it?
It's a dog race.
White says he's concerned that Rauner is trying to buy black votes. Now, last month, Rauner promised to put more than $1 million of his own money into a South Side Chicago credit union. His spokesman says the candidate had invested in the minority community in the past, and that wouldn't stop because he was a candidate. Recent progress in the town of Normal has caught the attention of Illinois senior Senator Dick Durbin, touring uptown today, checking out new developments, including the Hyatt Place Hotel project. Mayor Chris Coos accompanied Durbin as the senator met with local merchants. Durbin says the progress the town has made is impressive.
Downtown Normal is cooking, and it just means that if you have a mayor and a city council with some vision, and they work closely to get community support, and then we bring in resources from federal sources as well as state, you can really breathe life back into downtown.
Durbin also reiterated his support for the developing high-speed rail between Chicago and St. Louis. That's expected to be completed sometime between late 2016 and early 2017. Well, it's been officially open now for 3 weeks, but now it's really officially open. Peoria Mayor Jim Ardis among the dignitaries helping to cut the ribbon at the new Courtyard by Marriott Hotel downtown. The managing director, Joe LaMonaco, says the first few weeks have been great. He sees no reason why that should change.
We almost have our entire staff on board in terms of managers. Our HR director starts tomorrow, and we'll have our full team.
Courtyard, of course, adjacent to the Marriott Pear Marquette and has a skywalk connecting the Peoria Civic Center. Chuck's back with the 7-day forecast for you in just a moment. Also, an amazing blues musician you have to see and hear to believe. And a delicious aromas filling the River City tonight. The Taste of Peoria is underway.
Going up in sports, taking the HOI-19 tour to Normal to check out Normal Community and Normal West. Stay with HOI-19 News.
You're watching HOI-19 News. Accurate, balanced, to the point.
That's where all the action is, right there underneath the Murray-Baker Bridge along Peoria's riverfront, because that's where Taste of Peoria is going on until 11 o'clock tonight. You can see some of the cars off to the right, but yeah, actually a lot of the taste, a lot of the vendors are underneath the Murray-Baker Bridge on the grassy areas. That's our IDOT Roadwatch camera network. Let's go elsewhere and see what's happening. Illinois Ice Intercam, Great Escape. There is nothing in the sky but blue and yellow with the sun out there. Hardly any clouds. Cape Cod Cam and Morton, Pekin Insurance, Pekin Hospital Cam. That's a great shot. And Marigold Festival will be here before you know it in a few weeks. And the Heritage Health Cam, that's 400 feet on top of the Telecourier Communications Tower. Absolutely gorgeous weather out there. All right, what about the weather headlines? Well, continued to fall light for the next day or so. Then a warm and muggy weekend with an occasional weekend shower or a thunderstorm. We'll stay in the mid-80s for most of next week, but we're still advertising low, maybe mid-90s late next week into the weekend after that, which is the 23rd. And as we just said, that's Bradley move-in weekend, so it may be a hot and sweaty scenario for those students moving in and their parents, too. 83, the high in Peoria this afternoon. 84 is normal. We started out at a very clear and crisp 57. This time of the year, with the sun angle, we can get some very cool mornings, but then the sun has the capacity to still heat up the air to a mid-80s and maybe beyond that late next week. 82 right now in Peoria, 42% the relative humidity, westerly winds at 9 miles an hour. And in Bloomington normal, you're looking at 78, 47% humidity, westerly winds at 10. Area temperatures running upper 70s to the low 80s around the heart of Illinois. Absolutely delicious weather out there. And here's a look at our wind speeds coming in from the west, a little bit to the northwest as well. Anywhere from 5 to 10, but they'll be light. 82 in St. Louis. That's great for the gateway city in the middle part of August. 78 in Chicago. That's great weather as well. Satellite radar. Once again, we have clear skies, a little wave or just a little a pinwheel of energy going through Chicago right now with a few clouds and some scattered showers. You can see it on the radar. And that'll be the northwest to southeast flow in the atmosphere. That'll stay northeast of our area. We'll have clear skies here tonight. Here's our weather tomorrow. But then we have a warm front developing ahead of a storm system, and that will be in here on the weekend and actually become a little bit stationary. We'll get a couple of showers and storms to erupt along that warm front, which will go into northern Illinois Saturday and Sunday, then push through on Monday. We'll be in the mid-80s the first half of next week, but once again, low 90s, maybe mid-90s late next week. So clear skies, light winds, cool, comfy, 57 to 62 tonight. Light northwesterly winds out there. Mostly sunny skies, gorgeous weather, upper 70s, low 80s tomorrow, and the winds generally light out of the north. Now here's the rest of the 7 days. We'll go with a few more clouds, a little muggy on Friday, just a tad out there, and 85 for that high. Then an occasional shower thunderstorm, not total washout, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday of next week in the mid-80s. But look, we start spiking to the low 90s, the middle to latter part of next week, maybe mid-90s as well after that. So enjoy this beautiful weather. A little taste of summer yet to come.
All right. Well, speaking of which,
and taste.
Nice transition. The 33rd annual Taste of Peoria underway at the riverfront.
HOI-19's Catherine Tellez is there and has more.
It's a beautiful day out here for the Taste of Peoria out here on the riverfront. There are more than 40 vendors to choose from. We're going to start with none other than dessert. We have homemade ice cream by Uncle Bob's. This is Sweet Georgia Peach, so we're going to give this a try. It's really creamy, really thick. All right. That's actually great. So if you come here, make sure you stop by Uncle Bob's, try their homemade peach ice cream. Now we're going to head over into the cupcakes. We have Sweet Cakes by Rachel's. They have their homemade cupcakes. I'm going to try the key lime cupcake. Key lime is actually one of my favorite desserts, so we're going to see how this measures up to that. All right. That's really good. I'm going to be finishing that later. There's so much to do out here. There's balloons and live music and plenty of food. We're going to keep eating, and we're going to send it back to you. I'm Catherine Tellez reporting in Peoria.
See that woman behind Catherine? She wanted the money. Coming up, how a rubber ducky can help in the fight against abuse, and an ISU alum prepares to face the judges, including Mr. Stern, on network TV.
You're watching HOI-19 News. Accurate, balanced, to the point.
Abuse can come in all shapes and sizes and ages, but one group hopes to end all violence for good. A local man shares his story tonight on how he was able to overcome abuse with the help of this local organization. Here's HOI-19's Bo Ebenezer.
My wife feared for her well-being.
Washington resident Jim Swagger never thought he'd experience abuse in his life, but when he started to notice funds missing from his brother-in-law's bank account, the problem became obvious.
He had Alzheimer's and we had some care issues. He called us one day and said, "Hey, I can't live by myself. I'm going to come live with you." He had been distant for years prior, and like I say, we didn't recognize the isolation.
The Center for Prevention of Abuse began investigating the missing money. They discovered the man was being exploited by a caregiver at his mental health facility. Swagger removed his brother from the facility and into his own home. Due to the abuse, the brother had lost trust in the family. Many times he became violent. Now Swaggart had become a victim of abuse himself.
He was afraid to go to work and leave his wife alone with him. He never knew exactly when he was going to come home and he was going to explode. He never knew what situation he was going to walk into.
The Center for Prevention of Abuse stepped in once again. They were able to get the brother treatment. Now the family is happy and on great terms. Experts say elderly abuse cases are new, but it's their fastest growing program. For more information on abuse, visit our website, cinewsnow.com. Reporting in Peoria, I'm Bo Ebenezer.
And the Center for Prevention of Abuse will be holding its 26th annual duck race next Saturday, August 23rd, so a week from Saturday. The event is at noon next to the Spirit of Peoria on the riverfront. Money raised will directly benefit the center. To adopt a duck and donate to the cause, you can visit duckrace.com/Peoria. Local college grad is taking his skills to national TV. 22-year-old Christian Stoinev is an ISU alum. He's taken a strength and balance routine that he performs with his dog, Scooby, all the way to America's Got Talent. At last night's show, all 4 judges gave Stoinev a standing ovation.
It just didn't feel real. It was better than I expected. It was amazing. It's hard to even describe it because it was just such an undescribable moment.
His journey continues on tonight's live episode of America's Got Talent when 7 of the 12 finalists will be eliminated. Coming up in sports, the Bears think their offense can be even better than last year's record-breaking unit. And we're going to head to Normal for 2 stops on our Heart of Illinois high school football tour.
Hello, Heart of Illinois. We'll get to our HOI-19 football tour and check out these guys, the Normal Community Ironmen and the Normal West Wildcats, in just a bit. But we start with pro sports. The Chicago Bears' second exhibition game is coming up tomorrow night against the Jacksonville Jaguars. In exhibition game number 1, the Bears' offense looked pretty smooth. 399 yards passing.
We have a special group at the skill position with Matt Forte and Alshon and Martellus and Q. You know, our offensive line are studs. They work together.
Bears and Jaguars coming up tomorrow night. Tonight in Big League Baseball, the Cardinals and Marlins and the Cubs and Brewers both wrap up their series. After last night's game, the Cardinals remain 3 games back of first place Milwaukee. We'll have all the highlights for you tonight on Sports Final. All right, to high school football now, and we are spending the day in Normal with a look at both the Normal Community Ironmen and first the Normal West Wildcats. The Normal West Wildcats are looking for some linemen at training camp. If they can block up front, the Wildcats will have an explosive offense.
I think we're very talented on the perimeter, and we got some young but really good running backs coming back. The offensive line is going to be young, but you know, I think they can do a good job for us as well.
This team is really athletic. We have a lot of talent, you know, in depth, like to the big guys, to the small guys. We have really quick people, that's for sure. So we have talent all across the board.
Normal West returns 2 starting quarterbacks in Mitch Fairfield and Normal U-High transfer Ariane Worthman.
The only difference in the offense is basically the calls, so the scheme is the same, and I feel really comfortable running it.
With the addition of Worthman at quarterback, Normal West becomes one of the most athletic teams in the Heart of Illinois, a team with big goals. They want to be the best Wildcat team ever.
Right now, making the playoffs is good, but we want to, as a whole, be the next team to go deeper into the playoffs at Normal West, be the first team to do that.
This is the 20th year of Normal West. These guys want to be the best Wildcats team ever. The Normal Community Ironmen are going through their own extreme makeover this year.
You know, this year starting off, it's a little bit of a role reversal for us. Last year we were pretty experienced defensively, and on paper we got some experience back on offense. You know, defense, we've got guys that played a lot of downs, just not quote-unquote starters from last year.
Last year, Normal Community unveiled their hyper-fast offense. This year, that offense should be even better and faster.
Second year running it, so it's a lot easier now. We're not learning it as much because we know it already, so our focus is fast.
You know, maybe do a little bit more from a formation standpoint that you haven't been able to do just because it was new last year. And it helps. We got some guys back that played a lot of downs, so obviously the understanding from that aspect helps as well.
Normal Community had a terrific season a year ago. This year, their goals are even bigger.
Last year, we made it to round 2 in the playoffs, lost against East St. Louis. It's definitely a possibility to go round 3 and then further than that.
The Ironmen are in a hurry to kick off the season and show off their hurry-up offense. Our football tour continues tomorrow with a look at both Peoria, Richwoods, and Pekin. Time now for today's Jim Dandy. Today we feature Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Edison Volquez, a little trick fielding, the behind-the-back fielding play by Volquez in last night's Pirates game. How about that? Behind-the-back stab. That's today's Jim Dandy. Don't forget Sunday Overtime. Your sports call-in show returns Sunday night at 10:30 right here on WHOI. We'll see you tonight at 10 with all your highlights. The news is coming right back.
The gates are open to the 33rd annual Taste of Peoria, downtown Peoria along the riverfront. The weather spectacular or delicious, 82. And right now, 67 at 8 o'clock tonight. And then the 11 o'clock when it wraps up at 57 degrees and a nice light westerly breeze out there for the taste here this evening.
I don't know about you, but this kind of makes me feel a little inferior. This 10-year-old boy is making waves as a blues musician in Canada. He is blind. Felix plays the blues guitar by ear. He first caught the public's attention last week. His impromptu performance of B.B. King's Every Day I Have the Blues at a summer camp for the blind went viral on Facebook, and it's been shared more than 90,000 times. Felix's mom says he was always fascinated by music as a baby. When he turned 6, parents bought him a guitar. He did the rest. Now, being from Quebec, Felix talks French, but he taught himself to play all of his favorite blues songs, even though they were in English. So he translates too. Outstanding. Be the first guitar-playing interpreter at the UN. World News is next. We'll see you at 10. It's been a pleasure.